American Woman is one of the most famous classic rock songs of all time. In this video, I'm going to show you an extended clip from my movie What is Classic Rock, where I interview Randy Bachman and he explains how the Guess Who came up with the song American Woman. At the end of this video, I will also go over Lenny Kravitz's famous cover version of the song as well. Everything on this channel is original, so if you want to support me, the best way to do so is to subscribe. Thanks for watching.
We were Canadians and working in the US. The late 60s. The Vietnam War was going on. We would pull into a town and there would be no young men our age, between 18 and 35.
In the US?
In the US. They were gone. They're all in a jungle fighting somewhere. The minute you turned 18, no matter where you were, what you were doing, unless you were a fortunate son like John Fogerty wrote about a senator's son, you got plucked away and sent in a uniform to a jungle to fight. That was pretty depressing to us. And one day in crossing the border, we almost got drafted. We had green cards, which meant we were eligible to work and play in the States, pay taxes in the States, and be drafted. So we promptly turned around and came back to Canada, where a lot of Americans were coming, as they were called, draft dodgers or conscientious objectors. We came back to Canada, and that night on stage, not too far from here, we're in Toronto, Kitchener-Waterloo, so about an hour's drive. We were playing a dance in a curling arena. In the middle of our set, I broke a string. And it was a guitar very similar to this, but it had a Bigsby on it. So you got to change the string. It's got to go under and around the Bigsby, which is kind of like the wang bar. So the band left the stage. I never had a tech to change my string or tune my guitar. You set up your own gear in those days and did your own teching. Yeah. So I'm on stage tuning it. I'm kneeling in front of Burton Cummings' piano. And the crowd's kind of talking. There's 300 or 400 people there. And I start to tune up the guitar to Burton's piano. Going, 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 going. And I'm tuning it. So I'm tuning my guitar. Getting it in tune, and I start to go. And in my heart I go, wow. And suddenly I see all the heads in the audience snap around. I go, oh my God, I can't forget this riff. So I see the drummer and I nod. He comes on stage and he starts playing. Jim Cale, the bass player, he comes on stage. And then Burton Cummings comes on stage and goes, what is this? And I say, sing something. So he just sings American Woman, Stay Away From Me. And that was kind of us, the fear of being drafted, the Statue of Liberty in that poster, Uncle Sam Wants You, the Stars and Stripes, and the guy pointing, Uncle Sam Wants You. So that song kind of came out of the blue, it was written on stage. So as it progressed, the next night we played it again. It took me, we didn't even know how to play the song. It was just a jam. So the band would leave the stage and I would do this Richie Blackmore thing, and then suddenly I'd hear the riff and I'd start to play it again and we'd go into the song. And then Burton would come and say, can I say these lyrics? We don't need your war machine. We don't want your ghetto scenes. I go, yeah, that's great. So the song was kind of evolved, because the first thing he ever sang was, American Woman, Stay Away From Me, Let Me Be. American Woman, Stay, just that over and over. It was a blues jam kind of thing.
Who is the American Woman?
It's the Statue of Liberty. It's the war. It was not the woman on the street. It was not like a personal thing with the American woman. It was just like, rather than saying, President Nixon, stay away from me, like tin soldiers and Nixon coming. Neil really said it. He put it out there. It was just a spur of the moment generic thing, like USA, stay away from me. We're Canadians, like we're the peacekeepers, peace lovers, and we're like really nice Canadians, you know what they call us. I should call my new band that, the RNC, the really nice Canadians. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and then it took on this specific meaning, and we were on such a roll at that time because we had These Eyes, Laughing, She's Come Undone, No Time, and No Sugar Tonight, and then radio was on such a roll of playing us, they didn't realize American Woman in essence was an anti-war protest song, but a very light-hearted one, not like 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? We don't give a damn who cares, like Country Joe's song. This was like kind of a mild thing, and because radio at that time was instructed to not play any anti-war songs, or you'd lose your license. Oh, wow. So they would play Barry Sadler, Sergeant Barry Sadler, Fighting Men of the Green Beret, all these let's go to war songs. They wouldn't play What Are We Fighting For, Country Joe, or any other protest songs. P.F. Sloan had a song called Living on the Edge of Destruction that got very minimal airplay. It was like banned. So instead of banning our song, radio just embraced it as another song by the Guess Who, and it was suddenly #1, and somebody pointed out, isn't there a lyric in there that we don't want your war machines, you know, the kind of thing, and stay away from me. And by then it was too late. It was the #1 song.
American Woman has been covered many times, most notably by Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz's version of American Woman was released in 1999 as part of the soundtrack for the second Austin Powers movie, Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me. Although, as noted by Randy Bachman, American Woman is at its core a political song, Lenny Kravitz's version of American Woman is not at all political, and the tempo of Lenny Kravitz's version of the song is also slower than the original. Notably, Lenny Kravitz's version of American Woman does not include a guitar solo, whereas the original version of American Woman by the Guess Who does. Lenny Kravitz is said to have told Randy Bachman that he did not record a version of the famous guitar solo in American Woman because, quote, I couldn't get the sound. I couldn't get the tone. Thanks for watching, guys. As mentioned, this is an extended clip from my film, What is Classic Rock? If you want to see the full film, the links are available in the description box below. Everything on this channel is original, so make sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.